Hey, this is John from Pathology, and you're watching our interview with the Age of Metal.
Hey, this is Jackie, and here we are with Pathology, and we're out in Scottsdale, Arizona at Chasers. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. So the tour started with Destruction yesterday. How did that go?
It went really well. We played in Corona, and we initially thought that the Destruction and Vital tour wasn't supposed to start until Denver, but we were actually kind of surprised that they were there. We thought it was just going to be us and Warbringer, because Warbringer and us are playing all the off days between shows, because the Destruction's a lot of older dudes, same with Vital Remains, so we figured they kind of they have the days off so they can rest or do whatever they need to. So it was really sweet to actually get to start the tour yesterday when we thought that we were going to be starting it in a few days. So, but it went well. Definitely kind of a rougher crowd for us because we're kind of a brutal death metal slam band, and we're playing in front of a lot of thrash kids, and they were kind of not really being too cool, but we went through it and made it happen. So, yeah.
You think that later on through the shows you'll get a better response, though?
I think that it's going to be about 50-50 for us. Vital people, definitely, I could see really digging us, because Vital Remains is very brutal, even though they're very straightforward death metal, but it definitely plays more in our favor, opposed to Destruction and Warbringer being very thrash metal. We've played shows before with thrash bands and done seems pretty well with thrasher kids, but last night it might have just been the crowd. But I think it'll be 50-50. I think some nights will be really good for us and some won't. Our shows in Canada will probably be pretty good, and some other places that we seem to fare very well with our own fan base. But, you win some, you lose some. That's just how it is on the road nowadays. You can't please everybody, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, everything works out and you get some good shows out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely exposure. We just did a metalcore, deathcore type tour with our friends in Rose Funeral, World We Knew, not even more than 2 weeks ago, and it was awesome. The shows weren't crazy big or anything, but we were definitely exposed to a lot of the metalcore and hardcore kids and deathcore kids, and we definitely got a lot of new fans, I think, and I think that people that maybe never have maybe heard about us are giving us a chance, got exposed to us and they saw how we played and sound live, and they were wow, this is a band we should actually pay attention to now. So that's always good. You can't always just be the center of attention no matter what tour you're on. You're going to play tours where you're kind of the odd band out, and you just got to suck it up and play hard whether people are digging it or not, because that shows a true musicianship about being passionate about your music and into what you're playing, not just doing it to appease to other people,
Yeah,
so.
Totally understandable. So Awaken to the Suffering has been out about a year now. Would you say fans really like the album?
I definitely think so. We definitely kind of added some new elements to the album that weren't in the prior records. We definitely added some more diversity, by having some solos and stuff. Kevin Schwartz, our guitar player, plays. The new album that we'll be having hopefully out sometime late this fall will definitely be still very much Pathology. It'll still be very slammy and very groovy, but it's also very fast in a lot of spots. We've added some more technicality to it to give it kind of a more feel for kids that like real fast techie type stuff on guitars. As far as we're going to also have a couple songs with solos in it to give it some atmospherical type sense to it, not just have it be blast beats and then slams and grooves, but I feel like it did really well. I know that we sold more on this record than the band did when they released Legacy of the Ancients, which was before I was in the band, and it definitely seemed like it had a lot of positive feedback about it. I mean, I wish that the vocals sounded better, but that's just because I'm not ever big into my vocals. But I thought we did really well with it. And I'm really excited, honestly, about this record even more than the last one, just because the writing's tighter, the material is just more aggressive. It's more it just punishes really hard, and it's really good. It doesn't really let up, and it really shows like our real musicianship, I think, better than the last record even did. So yeah, so I'll be out sometime hopefully this fall. We'll see.
So how did the recording process go for the last album?
When we were on tour with Deicide last year, and Belphegor, and Blackguard, and Araxis, I had just been in the band for a couple months, so I started writing just to write, and then basically we started kind of writing like a little bit on the road, not really like too much, just kind of toying with stuff, and then we got back from that, the Deicide and Belphegor tour, and we wrote a little bit then, and then we went out with Obituary and Grave in Europe for 6 weeks, and I wrote a lot of like the lyrics on the tour there myself. And then when we got back, the guys basically had like a month or so where they got to write, and then we basically went in the studio right after that, and we spent like 3.5 weeks in the studio recording with Daniel Castleman at Lambesis Studios in San Marcos, and we were really happy with how it came out. Daniel's a really awesome engineer and producer. He's a super cool guy, and that's actually who we're going to be going with this next record, because we were so pleased with how it sounded, and it just everything about it was like what we wanted the record to sound like. So, but this time I think we have more time to write, and we're writing on this tour. Behind you guys is Dave's electric drum kit, and Kevin brought a little guitar amp so they can write while we're on the road and we have downtime. And basically we already kind of got a jump on it. We have 6 songs done now, and we're going to try to get like 6 to 7 more. Just kind of depends. And then I'm going to go in the studio sometime in July with Daniel again, and then hopefully it'll be out, like I said, October, November-ish. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, well, that's really good to get that much work done out on the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we stay busy. Like, we've had like a lot of, kind of like downtime in the past. We're between tours, so it's like now it's like kind of like our manager said, when it rains, it pours. So it's like we did that metalcore tour and deathcore tour, and then we had like, a week and a half off, and then we're back out again, and then we get home and we write. And then we're going to be going in the studio, and then we play a festival after we record in Central Illinois for the Central Illinois Metal Fest, and then we go out again in July on the Summer Slaughter Survivors Tour.
Yeah.
So we're going to be busy the next few months. It's going to be chaotic, so after that I think we're going to go on a break for a little bit. So.
Yeah, well, it'll be a lot of fun, though, so.
Yeah, it'll be good stuff, good times for sure.
So I noticed with some of the artwork that you guys do use for your albums, you kind of have like a zombie theme going on, sort of. Is that kind of like a concept that the band really likes, and who was the artist that did your artwork?
Paul Olson is the artist that the band has used for quite a while. He's done some shirt designs for us as well, and a lot of the album artwork. It's not necessarily the zombie theme so much, but it's the doctor that we have in there. He's basically kind of the center of everything, and from the Legacy era, like it was definitely very like zombie-ish, kind of and whatnot. But the last record, it was kind of more like, I would say he had kind of like a horde of like kind of subhuman, like zombie-ish, I guess, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, and he basically is kind of like controls them. He's kind of like the overlord, kind of makes them do what he wants. So it's definitely the doctor's more the center of the attention that we try to put, and like actually that basically we'll probably have him on like every album from here on out. Like it's just kind of like what we're gonna stick with. So
nice.
Yeah.
So kind of like an identifiable mascot in a sense.
Kind of like Eddie from Van Halen, or something like that. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, not Van Halen. Sorry, Iron Maiden. I don't know why I said that.
It's okay.
Sorry, heat's getting to me.
It is. It is so hot right now.
Yeah, it's killing me. I can't deal with it.
Yeah. So, like you just mentioned before, you are going to be on the Summer Slaughter Survivors with In Full Darkness, Fallujah. How excited are you guys to go and be on that part of that tour?
Really, really excited. My old band played with Fallujah, 2 years ago in San Francisco at a little tiny, cool little kind of crust punk bar venue called Parkside, and I was blown away with them. back then, and they've even gotten better. Actually met the singer of In Full Darkness on this last tour. He played in another band that we played with in Chicago, and it shot some really awesome live shots of us. And so playing with them is going to be awesome. And I mean, for me personally, Fit for an Autopsy, Nate Johnson, that's all I gotta say. The guy's like been my idol and inspiration for like doing vocals. He may not be like a guttural vocalist by any means, like with the music we do, but from the time I saw him play when he was in his old band Premonitions of War, like that just basically kind of changed my outlook on like how vocals and music sounded. It was so pissed and so angry and so gnarly, and so hopefully he'll do that tour with them, and so we can play with him every night, because that would be a real treat for me. And Aegean's a sick band, and I think it's a real well-rounded tour. You know, you have a slam band like us, you know, real death metal band. Then you have like Fallujah and In Full Darkness, which are like atmospherical, kind of blackened death metal. And then you have Fit for an Autopsy and Aegean, which are just like punishing, like heavy mosh deathcore type stuff. And so I think it's a real well-rounded bill. We'll probably be playing a couple new songs we'll be off the new record, taking some of the old stuff out. I know we're kind of tired of playing a couple songs, just trying to, you know, get the new stuff out there as well, get some exposure on it. And I think that the new songs, especially with like some of the slams we've been writing and stuff, like in the grooves, like, I mean, they're basically, you know, breakdowns, but in a brutal death sense, so they'll appeal to the mosher crowd, you know, with all the hardcore kids and stuff, so, which is fine by us, because, you know, we're not a band that tries to limit ourselves to who listens to our band and genres and everything, so.
Yeah, a wide range is okay. And if anyone loves you, then, you know, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah. So.
Good. So have you guys ever played outside of the U.S. and Canada other than Europe?
We've played Canada on tours. We've played Mexico. And we've played in Europe. That's about it so far. I mean, there was talks about us going back over to Europe again this year, but I don't know if it's going to happen. It might have to wait till next year. And there was kind of a little talk about some stuff in South America, but I don't know. But we do really well in Canada, it seems, and then we do really well in Mexico, Tijuana. We played the El Centro a couple nights ago, like I was saying before the interview. And then we do really well in Mexico City. We love playing down there. We get treated really well. The promoters are always awesome to us. Crowds are always good. Same thing in Canada. Like, I don't know. Metal bands get treated a lot different in other countries, I've noticed. Like, there's much more of an appreciation for where the States, it's kind of like, all right, here's a case of water. You know, you play in Europe, it's like, here's all the food you want, all the beer, soda you want. You need to take a shower, there's showers at the venue, you know, like you need to do laundry here, we'll take your laundry, do laundry. It's like, it's much more an appreciation, so it's really cool to like go to other places and see, you know, how people really actually genuinely appreciate the music. They're not just going to the show to be around their friends or be at like a social event. It's like they're really genuinely there for the music and the artist and the, you know, to have a good time and embrace the live show, you know. Yeah. So.
Well, hopefully one day Americans will adapt.
Up.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope so.
The conditions are really harsh. Some of the venues are really small and kind of crappy. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, we've definitely played some dive places, but I tell you, sometimes playing those dive places are some of the wildest shows we play. You know, we basically get you know, really good responses at those. A lot of times more opposed to those really big places. Like, you know, last night we played this place and it was awesome place, but it was almost too nice, you know. And it sounds weird saying that, but it's like, you know, you play this real swanky kind of club and they have like tables and like waitresses that come in between all the tables, and they have this huge bar and everything like that. And it's very impersonal. Like, growing up as like a punk rock and a hardcore kid myself, like, I like to experience like the raw intensity of like a show rather than feeling like I'm distanced from the artist that I'm watching. So that's just me, though. Yeah,
I mean, you want to get really close to them and kind of feel the energy and just feel the overall feeling of the show. So yeah, I get it. Yeah. Are there any bands in particular you guys want to tour with?
Oh shoot, I just got asked this question earlier. Me personally, Cannibal Corpse would be definitely one. Dying Fetus, Suffocation, Devourment, and if I could add one band that I wish that would reform and do like one reunion tour, it'd probably be Skinless. But I doubt that would ever happen, but we'll see what goes on. But yeah, some of those bands would be definitely awesome. Black Dahlia Murder would be really cool. You know, it really sucks because there's so many awesome like brutal death metal bands out there. You know, like, you know, Disgorge, Condemned, you know, Girl Secrete, all these awesome bands that are from all over the place in the U.S. and they just don't really, you know, get the opportunity to tour that much, you know, or they just don't because they have other stuff going on in their lives. And so, you know, it'd be awesome to tour with those bands, but it's just the likability of it happening. So, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Awesome. So other than that, what's next for Pathology?
Basically touring and writing and recording, and then probably touring more. And that's about it. I mean, just trying to get out there and expose more people to our music, whether we're doing like, you know, a tour where it's a split bill, like 2 death metal bands and like 2 thrash bands like this one, or if we're doing like metalcore, deathcore tours, or if we're doing straightforward just death metal tours, like whatever we do, like, you know, we always try to, you know, bring the best of our live show every night, no matter if there's 10 people there or 100 people there, you know, as long as like, you know, there's someone there to listen, we're going to play basically, you know, and we're going to play it the best we can every night. So,
well, that's great that you have passion for what you're doing. So
that's something I think that personally is lacking very much in the music industry. I think people just do it to get famous or get their name out there, put out a music video and get girls and look cool, but that shit's overrated. So that's just my personal opinion, though. That has no reflection on the band. That's just me, though.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Good luck with the rest of the tour and everything else you guys do.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.